youtube.com/MayhewMayhem. That's youtube.com/MayhewMayhem.
Hello and welcome to another episode of 30 Minutes of Mayhem. I am your host, my name is Michael Mayhew, and I am here with my co-hosts.
Nick from youtube.com/thetictacman. And joining me is the man-boobed monstrosity.
What's up, everybody? This is the man-boobed monstrosity, a.k.a. Greg.
And as I said, welcome to 30 Minutes of Mayhem, the podcast your mother can be ashamed of. And tell me, Nick, why is it the podcast your mother can be ashamed of?
Because I once violated a dog.
That is exactly correct.
And now joining us is my pool boy, gardener, lover, and most importantly, intern, Emmanuel.
Hello.
Real quick, I've got a little bit of shit about this, so I kind of wanted to talk about it. Now, back on episode 55, I don't remember how we got into it, but for some reason we got into talking about pocket pussies or fleshlights or whatever, and I remember James brought up the foot pussy, and I said, I don't see the point to do that. It would be a cost of they cost too much, so on and so forth. I remember saying that. I got a good, decent amount of shit about it. Like, how do you know? You wouldn't know if you haven't tried. And you've said before about getting your prostate fucking pressed on and getting your asshole fingered. Like, when you said, oh, well, I've never done it, but then maybe one day in my life I finally do, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm missing the greatest thing in the world. So they basically used my own words against me about fleshlights. Well, how would I know if I didn't try? So what I want to propose to you guys is that we actually get fleshlights or pocket pussies. Mm-hmm. You're basically paying for the name as far as fleshlight goes or pocket pussy goes, because I did a little bit of looking into this, and they're not necessarily cheap. But anyway, the thought of getting them, actually trying them out, using them a few times, and then reviewing them on a later episode. What do you guys think about that?
I am totally down for that.
Of course you would be, so it's not like we're surprised by that, but...
Hey, man, anything that could help me out, man. I mean, because, my hand gets tired sometimes, but I just want to keep going.
Fair enough.
I'm game as well.
As you can tell, Nick is doing his best Christian Bale Batman impression for this episode. So, Nick, you're down as well?
I am absolutely down, as long as you tell me where's the bomb.
Where is she?
The bomb is in the house.
Motherfucker.
So, Emmanuel, what do you think? Are you down to do a fleshlight review?
Whoa, Mike, I hate to snatch the mic from you right there, like my name be Kanye, but do you really even think he deserves the privilege to be sliding into one of those pocket pussies?
I mean, like, he's your intern, you brought him on, so, I mean, I don't know, I guess it's your call.
I'm sorry, Manny Mo. You don't get to feel that latex hoe.
Well, on that note, let's take a quick commercial break and then get right into this bullshit.
Do you like model trains?
You should probably kill yourself.
Or maybe you just want to listen to people talk about killing themselves.
Or their dicks.
Or wanting to kill themselves because of their small dick.
Let us be the conductor of the train charging full Cleveland steamer ahead into your tushy tunnel.
So if you like the idea of us cramming our carnal knowledge in your cranial caboose...
all aboard your search bar on YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, or Spreaker with 30 Minutes of Mayhem. Okay, so let's get right into this with the very first topic and the only first topic of this particular episode. I've seen a lot lately about the free the nipple movement and desexualizing women, yada yada, blah blah blah. The topic is, why is it okay for men to be topless in public, but not women? And Nick came up with this topic, and he also adds, why can't we enjoy the view too? Like I said, the whole free the nipple movement and so on and so forth. I personally am a supporter of it, but I have my hesitations at the same time, because I like titties. I don't like having titties, like I got my own. I don't like having those. The man boob monstrosity or whatever, I'm not trying to be that. I mean, I do have some tits. I could probably fit in a trainer. And like, it's not like I use my arms to push my tits together and like look at myself in the mirror and jerk off. Or more than twice. Once it was weird and I was drunk. No, I'm kidding. So anyway, I was sober. Now, with all of that being being said, I love me some titties. I'm not a big titty discriminator. I like them to exist and be bigger than what mine are, but I don't like those gigantos that are like bigger than your head because there's no point. They get to an extent in which they're just pointless. I
like to think of them as jawbreakers. You like to know how big of a jawbreaker you can handle.
You could use the same.
Those things are meant to last for days.
Exactly. So, but anyway, my point being, I love me some titties. Yeah, I mean, I'd like them to be able to just be out in public, you know, but at the same time, I'm no, because I want to see them shits in the bedroom. But I don't want every person I know to know what my girlfriend or wife or whatever's fucking tits look like, because they're going to be like, oh, your wife's got some big old titties, buddy, and I know the areola on them shits are huge, and I'm like, yeah, I know, it's a little disappointing, but it's whatever. And then like, yeah, I was jerking off to them shits last night. I'm like, fuck you, dude. You don't want to deal with that, just like you don't want your girlfriend to be naked on the internet, unless you do. I mean, cool, whatever, do you. Me personally, I don't want that. But to argue with myself for a second, if it was everybody's topless, everybody tits out, everybody, guys and girls, man boobs, female boobs, regular ass boobs, I don't know what you want to call them. So everybody's got their tits out, right? And if that becomes the norm, then it would desexualize the female tits, would it not?
Do women, and I think the answer is yes, but do women find topless men to still be extremely attractive?
Oh, not if they saw me topless.
Or unless they're bisexual and they just love tits as much as what I do as a straight man. See, if they were bisexual and just love tits, period, whether it was on a male or a female, then I could see them being excited. No, women like to look at men that are in like ridiculous amount of shape or like the dad bod look. So yes, to answer your question, I guess as an overarching thing, just as much men that love to see women topless. I can't speak for women, but I would agree that most likely yes.
Shit, man, even whenever I see a Hemsworth coming in topless, I get a little wet. I'm like, oh yeah. I don't even like the dick that much.
He's doing a Macho Man impression now, but anyway.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, brother.
He wants to slap into that Slim Jim.
Oh, yeah. Eat me.
I mean, I've not from me personally, but from what I've seen is women still find attractive topless men to be extremely attractive, as do men find topless attractive women. So I guess, is there really a difference?
Are you saying that it wouldn't desexualize it then? Because my whole point was that how sexualized the female body is versus the male body.
I think we could still gain a lot of personal enjoyment out of the titties if they started to become a little bit less sexualized.
I was going to say, on the one hand, it's like, yeah, I mean, would I become too desensitized to them? They wouldn't be attractive to me anymore. But then at the same time, it's like, you know, there are a lot of things that I thought I was getting desensitized to, but goddamn, I still get a boner when I think about them and see them. But then that would raise the other question. I mean, what if, you know, women walk around topless in public? I mean, you know, we have dudes walking around with boners in public. I mean, nobody wants to see that shit.
Isn't that argument like women can't wear short skirts in school because it'll distract the boys with their erections?
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I get that is true. That is true.
That's the argument you're bringing up.
But
I didn't think of it that way. Yeah, well then never mind. Fuck that.
But it does distract the boys with their erections. But they should still be able to wear the skirts by all means. But
yes.
But shouldn't it be the boys' responsibility to show some self-control?
When is the last time you've been able to self-control a boner?
Yeah, that's an autonomic function.
Okay, no, I'm talking about like
raping them.
We're not talking about
what you're saying?
Blaming them for it.
No,
yeah. Well, yeah, I'm not blaming them.
There should be no reason to blame them. You
know,
know,
an asshole would blame
I remember
them.
being young, and if the breeze blew just a certain way, my dick would just sprout right up.
Oh yeah, I know how that feels.
Greg's like, I did it this morning. I woke up, opened the fucking window, and then boom, just full mast.
Dude, you know, just sitting still somewhere, you know, it's like you could just be sitting there like just minding your own business, and then all of a sudden, boom, and you're just like, well, I got a boner now. Damn it.
You know, over the years, you learn how to deal with it. You just tuck.
Well, yeah, I mean, you learn how to deal with it.
And you tuck it up, and blood drains out of it or whatever. But normally, tucking it up works. Now, here's the thing that is honestly irritating: when there's no call for a dude to take his shirt off, but because he knows that he's like ripped, he's just gonna take his shirt off for whatever reason. I'm like, there was no point in taking your shirt off. You're just taking your shirt off because there's other people around, and you're like, look at me, look at how rock hard
shredded I am.
Yeah, and you're just you're a douche at that point. Yeah, people could sit here.
Unless you're me, because even back when I was as skinny as like a fucking twig, which is hard to imagine. I got hot super easily.
Well, I can understand, like, if you're at the beach or whatever, or if you're like, if it's a
in
bazillion,
Hawaii,
yeah,
it's like a zillion degrees in your room.
yeah,
And you're in the Navy, you take it up the ass.
Well, join the Navy for a reason. Actually, surprisingly enough, there's not nearly as much gay sex in the Navy as what I anticipated. The funny
I thought there'd be swimming gays.
God damn it, the village people lied to me.
So let's switch the question a little bit. Do you think that like it should be equal on both sides with this? If a guy can have his tits out, should a female be able to have her tits out in public, no matter what, like 24/7, anywhere in public, anywhere that a guy can take his shirt off? Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, yeah, I don't really see the big deal about it. I mean, now that I think about it, like even when women are still wearing shirts, sometimes it's just like, oh my god, this is a nice pair of titties. So I don't even think that, them being fully exposed is going to change the way I look at them.
So, Greg, you're for it. So you should say you're free the titty movement. Anywhere that a guy can take his shirt off, a female should be able to take her shirt off, correct?
Sure.
So what you're saying is you're okay with being in public with your mom with her tits out.
Oh god, not my mom.
Well, your mom.
Of course, then again, my mom's so reserved, she would never do that.
But let's just say it's okay across the board, and your mom's like, you know what? Fuck. It's okay across the board. I've been holding in my conservativeness my entire life, and I'm whipping these shits out. So that's cool with you?
God damn it, I didn't take that into consideration.
Is that what you would say to her? That's a little weird. We'll get to that later. We'll get to that later.
The things that get me revved up and ready to go, tits are probably like next to last on the fucking list. And honestly, if they just want to hang them out, go right ahead. I think what turns me on more is
nice
seeing those
ass.
tits. Oh, yeah, nice ass. But seeing those tits in like a tight little shirt and they look like they're about to fucking explode out, I'm just like, yes.
Yeah, see, I like
that.
too.
I prefer that. Like what the fuck's wrong with that? I prefer a clothed pair of tits more than I do with just an exposed pair.
What that is, I think that's the psychology of that is that your imagination can run crazy with what it is. It's like
Yes.
Like have you ever seen a female or a guy, Greg, I'm not gonna judge you, that you see in clothing and you're like, Jesus fucking Christ, goddamn, and you're nearly coming on all over yourself. And then you see her naked and you're like, oh, whoa.
Bait and switch.
Like, what the fuck happened? Why? What?
Where was the disconnect?
Yeah, because in your mind you've seen it and you build it up so much, and then she takes drawers off and then she turns into a 200-year-old woman. And you're like, those were meat curtains right now. Those are meat curtains hanging down there, and you're vomiting all over yourself, and everyone in the room that you're with hates you because right before that happened you said, get naked, and everybody cheered you on because you were the right guy. And then she takes the necklace off, and it's fucking disgusting, and now everyone hates you, and it still brings it up to this day. See, when that happens to you, that's the worst shit ever. But as a guy, I could take my shirt off in public places. I don't want to do that to myself and other people, so I choose not to do so. So should it be their choice? Yes, it should be their choice. But the same thing I said with breastfeeding in public, you cannot be mad when people stare, whether it's male or female. You can't be mad because people are going to stare. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to sit there and be like, goddamn, oh goddamn. And
like,
I'm
don't
gonna,
ogle like hardcore, because then,
right,
like,
but
if a girl did that to a guy, that'd be just as creepy.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's just a reaction that's just gonna fucking happen. So like, if you're willing to get topless, you gotta accept the fact that you're going to get stared at, like you're going to get looked at, and I don't feel like you have the right to be pissed if you make that choice. Like I said before, and when we talked about breastfeeding in public, I am all for it, 100% for it. But every time I see it, I like look because I'm hoping, as fucked up as this is, I'm hoping that I'm gonna see that tit. Like, I'm just hoping that it's gonna happen. I'm not staring, I'm not like sitting there with binoculars or anything, but I'm gonna look a few times, hoping that maybe she adjusts the kid or something. I'm like, oh, there it is, titty. Because no matter how old we get as men, we're still going to be perverted pieces of shit. But I think we've done the Lord's work on this topic, so let's go ahead and take a commercial break.
This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs. This is Greg.
Hi.
Greg, are you a virgin?
Yes.
This is Greg in 30 Minutes of Mayhem apparel. Tell me, Greg, are you still a virgin?
Yes.
Then I don't know what your fucking problem is. Because 30 Minutes of Mayhem has gotten me laid.
If you want to help get Greg laid, email us 30minutesofmayhem@gmail.com. Hashtag take Greg's V-card.
Or if you want my face on your body, head over to MayhewMayhem.spreadshirt.com.
Unlike me, maybe a 30 Minutes of Mayhem shirt will have others saturated by your sweet succulence.
I doubt that.
So, Greg, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Nick, all things considering.
Well, you see, what we really want to do is get you hooked up.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Any ladies out there who want to get with Greg, definitely be sure to hit up the show, 30minutesofmayhem@gmail.com. We'll get you on here. And it'll be like a little dating game, mate. We get enough people. Do you like that, Greg?
Yeah, I like that a lot.
And you know what you'll love, ladies? Knowing that he's been trained by the best. That he's been trained by Nick, the lady master.
Fuck my ass. Come all over my face.
So, Greg, I'm going to be giving you all the tips you need to get your game on.
Lay it on me.
First of all, is having command of the situation. Bitches love it when you tell them what to do and when to do it. Say you come home and you're like, I'm hungry. You just look at your woman and you say, bitch, make me some food. See, Greg? That's just how you have to take command of the situation.
I'm starting to take notes here. It might be why I've been single for 3 years. I haven't used any of what you've said so far. It's gonna be me that ends up using your advice instead of Greg.
Something we all can just...
Yeah, it's not just for Greg. This is
for our listeners as well,
for
too.
all.
Maybe Emmanuel will find him a wife and become a citizen. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves here.
Now, you see, the key to finding a woman who likes this is finding what's known as a submissive. Now, normally where I find these so-called submissives is at love shacks. They'll be chained up in leather. You know, that's just how they tend to be.
I don't mean to, criticize your approach, Nick, but don't you think some of this is a little, not good advice?
Well, to be fair, Greg, out of everyone here, who has the most experience with women?
That is true. Though I'm not entirely sure if 12-year-old girls count as women.
Well, regardless of that, that's eliminating the 15 and under club. He still has more experience with women than what you do. I mean, granted, some of them might be some fucking disgustos, but regardless of that, it's still experience nonetheless. You have to have good experiences and you have to have bad experiences to really know what you're talking about. So, I mean, I'm thinking it's sound advice here.
And let's be honest, a lot of that is semantics.
Semantics.
Yes, woman, girl, child,
Ah, yes.
Yes.
See, language is something that we created, right? So who's to say we made up the rules to language? Like, who says you really need to have a comma here or a period here? Or who says you have to be able to have a period before you can have sex? Who's to say what is a woman, a lady, female, child, girl, teenager? Those are all words that we made up. We made up those rules.
You see, that's the thing. That's the thing, and knowing where to fit the colon in. Because honestly, if you ask me, you can put a colon anywhere. You can put it between a slash. You can put it between a period. You can have a period, then a colon, then another period. A rectal period.
Or you could just be inside of a colon.
This is how I learned English.
And you see, taking command of the situation can work in many other ways. Like, if you see this hot-ass bitch chilling with her douchebag boyfriend, and you're like, I deserve that more than he does. Well, the truth is, you do. And I'm going to teach you the secret. See, you approach them both, but you only acknowledge her. And you say, sup, bae? Looks like you got a tiny dick on your shoulder there. Would you like a real one? See, this is the key right here. You pull your dick out in front of them. This shows that you have balls. Bitches love dick and balls.
If he's just pulling his dick out, it might not show he has balls because he could have just unzipped him and pulled his dick out.
Well, you see, then you're not scooping deep enough.
See,
you got to be willing to show it all.
Yeah, but have you ever pulled your dick and balls both out through your zipper?
Yes.
That
you
kind of.
got to really work your hand in there, nestle it.
Your balls are sitting there getting bit by your fucking zipper and getting pinched like a motherfucker. And then you're afraid when you're trying to work with whatever you're working with there that the zipper of your pants is going to open your skin zipper in the process of all that. So I don't ever pull my balls out.
Well, you see, if you open the skin zipper though, what you're opening then for is you can just look at him and be like, oh, did I mean my dick was bigger than his? I meant we should have a threesome.
Speaking of balls in a zipper, have you ever accidentally pissed on your balls?
I can honestly say...
Have I brought this up before? Have you ever pissed on your balls?
No, I don't think we have brought it up before.
Nick the Lady Master has never pissed upon his own balls unless it was intended to be that way in a kinky situation.
Like, when you have a small dick like I do, it's something that happens. It's so irritating because you know how like females got, they got to wipe when after they pee. When you're a guy and you got to wipe after you pee because you've urinated upon your balls.
It's a wipe of shame, really.
Oh yeah, I mean, for a second before you even wipe, for a second, like when you're getting the toilet paper and you're rolling it up perfectly because you have OCD really bad and you got to have the perfect amount of plies, and then you got to fold it perfectly because if not, you'll apparently die. I don't know. You'll suffocate on air. I don't know. I can't explain my OCD, but anyway. So, and then right before you wipe the balls, after you have urinated upon them, after your OCD fucking folding of toilet paper, for that split second there, you think about, like, what if I just don't wipe my balls? And instead, I grab with one hand on one side of my chin and the other hand on the other side of my head and twist as hard as I possibly can if I break my own neck and die right now. You contemplate killing yourself, and then you think about the fact that you live 9 stories up. It would just be easier if you took your pissed upon balls and then jumped from 9 floors.
Plus, they would dry off, so nobody would ever know that you pissed on your own balls.
Exactly. But the shame would be gone, and then it would all be better, right? I don't know, maybe my logic is a little flawed.
That's what they did in Japan, right? You pissed on your own balls and you put a knife through your chest.
Exactly.
It's the only way to bring honor back to your family at that point.
I'm quite sure I might have pissed on my balls as a child, and that's why my father has never acknowledged his love for me.
Are you sure that's why he hasn't acknowledged his love for you, Nick, and that there's not, another reason why,
because I'm a disappointment?
Like a lot of underage reasons.
Yeah, a lot of those reasons.
Or you guys thinking about this all wrong? It's because Nick, I may have brought this logic before, is it because Nick never got love as a child that he seeks children to give them his love? Love in a different sense. Not love as in with the heart, but love as in the sense of there's not grass on the lawn, flip them over and play in the mud.
Saw that coming.
She didn't, because she was flipped over and he was playing in the mud.
Oh, God.
I've never heard that before.
Obviously hasn't spent enough time around me. Greg, one last thing I need to tell you.
Okay.
I'm Batman. That's what I said.
Women love being choked. So if you see a girl you like, just go up and choke the shit out of her. She'll thank you for it. Well, that's all the time I have left to be the Lady Master. Let's throw it to a commercial.
Welcome to my mini-mart. How may I help you?
Put the money in the bag!
So, how do you guys feel about virtual reality?
Honestly, I kind of feel like it's going to be the future of gaming.
I really think it's just going to go the way of motion controls, like a dodo.
See, the only thing I want it for is just that POV porn to where you got it on, but I just think about, like, imagine you have your Google Cardboard on, you got the headset on, you're just fucking going to town on yourself, and then your parents walk in or whatever, your whole fucking family's there.
Shut up!
You're caressing my face with a gun. If you're going to rob me, that's fine. Just please don't kill me.
Rob you? No. We're supplying you with a product for the donation you're about to make.
Could you please take the gun out of my mouth?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I get carried away sometimes. You could have easily prevented this by donating via PayPal using 30minutesofmayhem@gmail.com.
Of course. I will like and share on Facebook. I will do anything. Dios míos.
Oh. Well, shit. I did not mean for that to happen.
We need to get the fuck out of here. And for our final topic, the one that everyone has been anticipating, and by everyone I mean no one except for me. And that is, if you were identical twins, God forbid that would ever happen, that there would be two of... Jesus Christ. Okay, so identical...
Double the Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it would be double the Jesus Christ. If Jesus was an identical twin, okay? Follow me here. If he was an identical twin, would both of them...
Judas was the other twin.
Oh, shit.
would both of them have to die, or would only one have to die for their sins, and then the other one could continue to perform miracles? Or would one of them be so successful and die for their sins that the other one was actually so jealous that they set them up, and it wasn't Judas at all?
Wow. Yeah, that's... God, my mind has just been blown.
I think you just turned me into a religious man and a fan of Stephen King and M. Night Shyamalan at the same time.
Now,
Wait, you weren't a fan of Stephen King before? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Well, you see, I have to say that when have I ever said I liked the Stephen King book? I said Tommy Knockers was okay, but here's the thing: Stephen King takes 30 pages to say what should only take 5 pages to say.
Well, to be fair, and a lot of people like his writing style, and a lot of people don't. Like, I cannot stand George R.R. Martin's writing style, and a lot of people think I'm a fucking retard. But there's a lot of people that agree with me. They still read the books, but they just don't like the way that he writes, and I fucking hate the way that he writes. Stephanie Meyer or whatever is one of the worst authors I have ever fucking read in my life.
About it.
But anyways, all of that aside. Back to identical twins. So if you were identical twins and incest wasn't an issue, like wasn't a thing, or whatever, maybe it is a thing, but it's not an issue. You don't care about it. Would it be better or worse if you're fucking your identical twin?
Personally, I think of it as more masturbation because you are identical genetically. So therefore, on the deepest level, you are the same person to an extent. Honestly, if I could look into my eyes while having sex with someone, I wouldn't have sex with corpses in front of a mirror as often.
Exactly. So, but I think to argue, to just play devil's advocate here, I know I shouldn't bring up the devil that often because I know Greg has PTSD, but what I'm saying is I think it would be masturbation in the sense if you were a clone, or if it was some sort of alternate universe. But more a clone than anything, because if it was a clone, it would be exactly you, like 100% to the T, because it's a clone of you, and if you were fucking your clone of yourself, you would be masturbating with yourself.
Well, if there's anything I've learned from watching the American television, I would say that twins are still different people. They just look the same.
Even truly, if you look at clones don't always inherit the same personality.
Nope.
Theoretically speaking.
Well, yeah, I mean, we still haven't done human cloning because of the conceived ethical ramifications of it, but that's neither here nor there.
At least that's what the government tells us.
Right, so if you're fucking a clone of yourself, and let's say that in theory the clone is 100% you, right? It doesn't assume a different personality or whatever, it's you. The question here is, what if you could feel what the clone felt? So if you were fucking your clone and you were hitting your own A spot, you're banging in there and
banging in the boom boom?
Yeah, you're banging in the boom boom and you're getting your prostate punched, right? So you're doing that, so you would be feeling it too. So let's just say, like, to the point to where you would be stimulating technically your own prostate while your D would be getting stimulated by your own butthole. But it would be like, you wouldn't be like fucking your own ass, you would be fucking a clone ass. When you came, apparently prostate orgasm, best orgasm ever. So you would be stimulating your own prostate while stimulating your dick at the same time. I don't know. I've never stimulated my prostate, so I just blew everybody's mind. I think everybody was like, oh.
Yeah, that's like, wow. That's...
It all comes back to the fucking prostate.
So maybe we shouldn't do fleshlights. Maybe we should all just get some prostate toys and play with our prostates. No?
I mean...
I have this glass jar.
Oh, no.
Greg's like, no.
I've heard some good things.
I have this glass jar.
You want to use mine?
Greg, weigh in here. Would you fuck an identical twin of yourself if that was an option?
Well, I mean, if it's an identical twin, that's also a dude, and I mean, I haven't gotten that desperate yet. Not only that, but I mean, I am not an attractive dude. I mean, I would probably get an anti-boner. Basically, like, my dick and balls would retreat so far into my body that they end up coming to rest next to my stomach.
Then your clone could put it in you. Could have your clone in the front and your twin in the back.
They could rub fucking lizard bellies while they're DPing you. When the one was hitting your prostate and made your fucking dick hard, you'd be pushing the other one out. So that does it for another episode of 30 Minutes of Mayhem. I have been your host. My name is Michael Mayhew, and I have been here with my co-host,
Nick.
And Greg.
Thank you to Emmanuel for coming on. Check us out iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, all those locations. Donate to us, PayPal, do all of that. And that does it for this episode, and I hope you have enjoyed it. Later, fellas.